time to chill for a bit. So let's hope we're not going to drive right past the hunter.
Come on, mate. He's got scary eyes. That's him, that's him, that's him. Come on, decamp, stop! Stop! We need air support, air support!
9 ordinary people from all over Britain have become fugitives.
We want to have a Thelma and Louise moment where we just literally go and do something crazy.
This would be the most exhilarating thing I think I'll ever have done.
They've surrendered their identity and are trying to disappear in one of the most watched countries in the world.
Now pursuing on foot, pursuing on foot.
I was a police officer for nearly 15 years. I was a specialist firearms officer.
Tracking them down is an elite team of hunters armed with the powers of the state.
You cannot do anything electronically.
If the fugitives can evade capture for 25 days,
Come on, boys! Come on!
they will win a share of £100,000.
£100,000.
Let's deny them the opportunity to get their grubby hands on all that cash. Let's get a clean sweep.
Where will they hide?
What if they've blocked the road?
He does marathons. I, on the other hand, struggle to walk from here to Aldi's.
Who will they trust?
They don't know we're in here right now, and that's what makes me feel so good.
Decamp, decamp, decamp.
9 fugitives.
Stop there!
25 days.
Stay where you are!
£100,000. What would you do?
Please, please, please.
I've got a wife at home and she's due to give birth.
Jamie Clark is going to potentially miss the birth of his child for 100k.
Hello?
We've got a call on the burner phone. They're in Scotland.
We don't have hunter teams on the ground. We have one ghost agent. Obviously, you're not authorised to make a capture. Ground hunter team are on their way to you. Yes, received.
Yes. You don't understand, you made our day. Thank you. It's taken us so far away. It's just I can't believe it.
Stand by. We have control of Sandra and Mella. They will be within our surveillance vehicle as we speak.
Unknowingly, Sandra and Mella have hitched a lift with a covert surveillance agent.
My name's Sandra, and this is Mella as well.
Hello, Sandra and Mella.
Known as ghosts, these undercover professionals cannot reveal their identity.
Well, I'm heading to Leicester, and you're more than welcome to jump off any time you want.
Oh, thank you.
We need to ensure our surveillance agent delivers them to us.
So the plan is for the ghost agent to stop at Gretna Green Services. Now, please bear in mind, ladies, that these girls are very athletic, so they need to be kept contained.
So we're safe.
We have a strong idea that they think we're in Glasgow right now. The fact that we're heading away from here just means we're leaving it all behind. So you've saved us.
Yeah, you literally...
They don't know we're in here right now, and that's what makes me feel so good.
The targets are at junction 15. We're sort of looking at this, it's getting incredibly close.
I haven't felt this for ages. I am pumped.
Right, is this doable at these services?
They'll make it.
Gretna, let's stop if you don't mind.
No problem, it's fine.
OK, off. They're towards the services.
Are you in position?
We've got it covered, boss. We are just back from the petrol garage. We've got sweaty palms here.
Yeah, likewise.
Right, so we'll sneak over here.
Stand by, stand by. Got the car. Confirm.
Right, now, you sure you don't want anything? OK.
Oh, my God. Moving in, guys, moving in.
Come on.
I've got control of the vehicle. Fuck.
Be a couple of minutes, girls.
And we are out. fugitives down.
I can't believe it. How did you know?
Never accept a lift from strangers, ladies.
You mean? Oh my gosh.
I'm so gutted. I feel like we had so much more to give. When you're thinking about the hunters being that close behind you, everything is urgent. You rush in your thinking, you're more likely to make mistakes. We literally played to their hands. They were in control of the situations, and we gave them that opportunity.
We were way too trusting. The hunters knew where we were. They knew that they had to keep us contained, otherwise we'd make a run for it.
After 8 days, the 6 remaining fugitives are spread across the UK.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we gather round, please? Where are we at with these fugitives now? Joe and Dan, what do we need to do?
Unfortunately, we're still in a frustrating space with them. The trail has definitely gone cold.
Bottom line is, we haven't got a clue where they are.
Obviously, Ben is Bletchley's bitch.
Yeah, Ben is Bletchley's bitch. Let's go, Ben, find those fucking lads, yeah! And then Ben goes, oh, I think I know where they are. And he tottles off like that.
Alex and Bob, an update, please.
Last we heard, they were in the Peak District area. Ground teams have checked Buxton today. We've been looking around the area, speaking to different people, speaking to pubs, restaurants, cafes, you name it. No intelligence whatsoever.
It's straight on. Does that mean that way or that way? Jesus.
Well, it says that, well, that's not straight on because that's left.
Why can't people say there's a fucking fork in the road?
Jamie Clark, where are we at, everybody?
2003, he joined the Dorset Police, then was trained as an armed officer, left in 2013, and now works in the private sector. So he's tactically well-trained.
We now know a date and a location for the C-section in Dorchester at the Dorset County Hospital.
Is Jamie going to be at this birth or not?
He's going to want to, desperately, but equally, I think their relationship might be strong enough that they might have agreed that he won't be there.
So he knows how to blow doors off hinges and point guns at people. That doesn't make him Sherlock Holmes.
On a public footpath in sunny Dorset.
Jamie has travelled over 200 miles to be closer to his pregnant wife.
I feel on top of the world right now. This is brilliant. I feel strangely better because I feel just close to my family. 2.5 weeks into this, my wife is due to give birth to our baby boy. So, you know, not ideal timing. I simply couldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the support of my wife. She's an amazing person. She's a Yorkshire lass, so she's made of stern stuff.
I know for some people, the thought of their partner or husband not being at the birth might seem a strange choice, but I fully support him in this, and I think for Jamie, this is something that if he didn't do it, he would regret.
It'd be really easy just to take my eye off the ball and keep walking along public roads and being in sight of everybody, but it's only going to take one phone call from somebody. So wherever I can, I'll try my best to change my routes and to change what I'm doing and not be so predictable. There's a grit and determination about me that's born through experience and life that knows what I'm capable of, and I'm clearly capable of this, and I'm clearly capable of getting away from the hunters. Being back here, we're going right into the dragon's den, aren't we? I feel that somehow the pressure's going to come on quite quickly, quite soon.
This man knows exactly what we are capable of. This gives him huge power. He knows what we can do, so he knows how to hide from it. I don't think that means that we have no chance. The vulnerability here is psychological, is emotional. However he's planned to avoid getting captured around the birth of his child, I think he's underestimating the emotional impact of that birth.
I genuinely, I would not have gone as far as I've gone if it wasn't just for the constant thought that I just couldn't let my wife down and my family. When I left the police, I put our life into a period of turmoil for a bit. It just meant lots of hard financial decisions and a pressure and a stress on my wife. And then since then, I've worked for myself, excuse me, which has put more of a strain on my wife and my family because I've been away so much. And so if this can help a little bit to secure that future for her, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to let these hunters get the better of me because they haven't met a real hunter yet.
Right, everybody. Alex and Bob, an update, please.
There was 2 phone calls that went into Lynn's handset. Lynn is the wife of Bob and the mother of Alex. The place they said they was going to stay at was a church to the east of Rainow. That was searched by the ground teams. They've left us a little note. Cheers, don't look too hard. So no doubt they're feeling very pleased with themselves.
Whoa! And he is fucked.
That's all right.
After a narrow escape from the hunters in Derbyshire, Bob and Alex have travelled 200 miles south to Hampshire.
It's done me back good, that, El.
Your back? Mind your fucking legs, man. I thought you'd break your leg.
Who's the responsible one in this team?
Oh, clearly the one that's not on the rope swing.
Bob is all about having fun, hedonism. He's an overgrown lad.
Do you fancy go, El?
No chance.
Alex is on the high-functioning autistic spectrum. He's not somebody who's comfortable going outside his regular activity. He's not somebody who feels comfortable going up to strangers and asking them for help. For him, therefore, to go on the run is an act of pure courage.
Done playing now?
You never done playing, El.
Oh. Asperger's syndrome mainly affects a communication side of a person's characteristics. I may be reluctant to initiate communication with people.
We fancy, son.
I just fancy, because I'm not funny, I don't want to stand here and just do nothing. It's either main road, or main road.
Let's have a look up here, then. Let's have a look up here, mate, yeah?
Well, the plan is we seem to be chopping and changing every 2 minutes now. I don't like that being no order.
All right, mate. This is my opportunity to get to know Alex. That might sound strange, but I'm his dad. I've known him for 26 years, obviously, but I don't know him. It makes me ashamed of myself. I think that I've failed him. I really think that this is a fantastic opportunity where me and Alex can get to know each other and see each other differently. If you had not flagged Jilly down when we were down the pan outside the church in Derbyshire, when it came to sheer desperation, you came out of yourself and you got help.
I don't want to take that sort of like one moment and sort of like become so overwhelmed by it that it kind of clouds my judgment for the next few days.
Why do you always do this, Al? I don't know why you get such a downer on yourself.
Oh, come on, don't. Now that I think that I've upset you...
No, you haven't upset
I'm going to upset... I'm going to get myself upset now, and I'm going to be like, see, this is what you do. Well, not you, me.
This is why I'm in the situation I'm in at 60, where I don't understand the condition. You know, I've been walking around with my head shoved up my fucking arse for the last 26 years. I should have recognised this, and maybe we could have done some things different that would have given you a better outlook on yourself or a better perception of who you are and that. Do you want to have a minute? Do you want to have Jack a cake?
Yeah, OK.
Come on in. Come on.
We know the dad's a mason, so that might be a useful network for him to use while he's on the run.
Right.
We've been looking at that wider network, so we've kind of established the masons that operate in and around Kent. We've had a number of new names pop up. A guy called Graham Skelton. Yep. Bob's called Graham 32 times, and he called his wife 34 times. Clearly best buddies.
OK, so we need to really pay close attention to Graham Skelton.
Let's make that happen, everybody.
Need to get away from Bath, mate.
OK.
Bob and Alex have made their way to Bath, but have yet to find a bed for the night.
Somerset, we've got so many links there with the Freemasons. We can get help if we need it. I've been a Freemason now for 21 years. It's a very secretive organisation. The secrecy and the connections that I have and can make, we're going to use that to our advantage. You want to go down the A36, right down that way to Frome. But in there someplace, the people who are hunting us, they're going to have one hell of a job catching up with us. We will leave a smoke screen that will blind them. And we are really looking forward to it. Game on. You all right?
No, I'm just want to get out of here.
Yeah, I know, mate. That is one wet sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Clearly, Freemasons are a brethren, a brotherhood, I think they call themselves. And they're going to help him. We've just got to crack him.
Good morning.
Graham, is it? Yeah. Nice to meet you, Graham. Are we allowed to come in?
Ground hunter Steve and Rich arrive at the home of Bob's friend and fellow Freemason, Graham Skelton.
Right, you obviously know why we're here, mate. You're pals with Bob. When's the last time you spoke to him?
Not last Saturday, Saturday before.
Yeah. Oh, right, OK. And he hadn't give you any sort of means of contact over the next sort of 28 days? No?
I wish you luck catching Bob, because we're all good at keeping secrets.
Lovely, thank you.
While Rich keeps Graham occupied, Steve uses a USB drive to hack his PC, giving HQ remote control of the computer.
So, Rich, what have you got?
We hacked Graham Skelton's computer, but then now we've got proper access so we can move his mouse and download all his files.
From now on, all of Skelton's online activity will be visible to the hunters.
Julie speaking.
Hello, Julie. Due to the fact that they are both Masons, he was never ever going to give us any information. The only way is the tech way to sort of destroy these people, if you like. The phones are done, the computer is done.
We've got his mail and monitoring as well, so if Bob tries to get in touch with him, then we'll know about it.
Right, thanks, Julie. We'll catch you later.
Yeah, take it easy.
So we're looking at Jamie Clark as a counter-surveillance officer. How can he get to and from that cash machine without hitting any cameras?
Yeah.
With no clues to the whereabouts of Jamie, HQ re-examine all intelligence gathered so far.
So we face a bit of a dilemma with Jamie. Will he be at the birth of his own child? He could be the other side of the country laughing at us while we're staged around the hospital waiting for him to turn up. So we need evidence to tell us where he's going. We know where he was in Ramsbottom. Something there will lead us towards Jamie, so we've got to go back and look at that. Doesn't look like there is a very quick way out apart from foot or flagging someone down.
Do you think he'd set this up without an exit plan?
No.
And I think he already had a vehicle. He already had a way out.
We're looking at Jamie and what he did after using the ATM in Ramsbottom. We're working on the hypothesis that he has transited up the M66 in a vehicle, come off at Ramsbottom, then gone back onto the M66 and away again. So we're pulling the records off the ANPR camera south of this location. We're then looking for vehicles effectively coming up here, hit that camera, went to Ramsbottom, came back down again, hit that camera southbound and went away again. So we get 2 hits on this camera about half an hour apart. We're doing the same on this camera up here, vice versa, south to north. I think it's probably coming up from the south because that's where he was before. It is a long shot, but we've ruled out everything else. And so this is our last chance to pick up him from Ramsbottom.
If I speak to Sarah today, I might be able to start sourcing some burner phones to talk to my wife. I'm just aware at the minute of vehicles around me.
After 9 days on the run, Jamie's attempting to meet family friend Sarah Clark for news about his pregnant wife.
Is this it? Yeah. I'll try and leave a note somewhere. This is magical.
Steve, we've got something back on that ANPR analysis you did.
HQ have identified a single vehicle that drove in and out of Ramsbottom within 30 minutes of Jamie's ATM withdrawal.
There's a vehicle that's come back, so Chris with him?
So he might have picked Jamie up.
He might have done, yeah.
Using motorway ANPR, HQ can track the driver south.
The last ANPR hit is just north of Bristol.
Which is, like, the route back to his home area.
Which is kind of what we suspected. As the birth gets closer, he's going to get closer to home.
Hi, Paul, Michelle, it's Ben. Can you start heading towards Rochdale, please? The vehicle that dropped Jamie off at the ATM in Ramsbottom traces back to a wood merchant. We're kind of hoping that Jamie's gone to that wood merchant's to get a lift.
All right, I'll speak to you later.
It's a lot of unanswered questions I'm not quite sure of at the moment. Did anyone else see Jamie? What was his state of mind? What was his intentions? We might know that after poor Michelle's visit. And if and when we do, it could steer us right back to Jamie.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Would you be able to help us with an inquiry regarding one of your drivers? One of our drivers? Yeah.
Were you here on Wednesday morning?
Yeah.
Can you remember who Chris was with?
I'm not allowed to speak about him. Who said that? The driver. Chris.
We're the good guys.
Come on. Look like them.
Are you joking? We don't look like good guys.
No.
There's no sign of driver Chris, but Paul and Michelle have discovered another colleague who spoke to Jamie before he travelled south.
He always said, I'm drenched. I've got one set of clothes and a one-man tent.
Yeah.
Right.
He said, I don't know the area. I give him a map, A to Z map. He said, I don't know where I am. He was very emotional, actually. He started crying.
At what part of your conversation did he start crying? What triggered him?
He said, my wife's about to have another baby. And he started welling up. I think he wanted to be there for the birth or something.
Excellent. Thanks very much, buddy.
Right,
Thank you very
mate.
much for your help.
Thank you, no problem.
That's a good little bit of info we've got.
Love it.
Hello, mate, it's Ben.
What did you get, guys? Oh, mate, this was gold. I went to speak to the guys who loaded up the van. We found a guy, and this person allowed the fugitive to sleep in his garden, made him breakfast, and then drove him here. And the fugitive has actually broken down. He's talking about his family. His wife is pregnant. So this guy is on the edge.
You have made my day. You too. Thank you so much.
This is such great news. He's still 14 days away from the finishing line, and we know he's been in bits. Let's keep the pressure on, deny him access to his wife by doing surveillance on her day in, day out. And if every day for the next 14 days, all she sees in her rearview mirror is hunters, frankly, I don't give a damn. We will deny them that access. We will deny them that contact, because he's relying on it. Big, rafty, tufty. Oh, police! I miss my wife.
Whatever comes back from Graham Skelton, I think that's going to be where any new information about Bob and Alex is going to come from.
In the search for Bob and Alex, the hunters have hacked the computer of Bob's best friend and fellow Freemason, Graham Skelton.
He logged into the Domino's website last night, so we're just having a look what he had for dinner. He had, quite interestingly, 3 pizzas. Looks quite tasty.
Guys, we just intercepted mail sent to Graham Skelton's address.
Graham, we're in the shit. Bedding is rotten. Trust and Honour Lodge, Somerset. Hold up in the caravan.
What do you think about the first line? It's saying we're in the shit, but it's not asking for anything.
Have they written a hasty note because their plans have changed?
Let's try and pinpoint where this caravan could be.
It references a Masonic lodge in Somerset and identified what appears to be a caravan to the rear.
Hi, Julie.
Hi there. We would like to just knock on the door of the caravan around the back of that lodge. We may just bag ourselves a couple of fugitives.
OK, moving down now. It's a very remote area, this. They'll stand out.
God, yeah, I hope he's just laying on a bed in his pants, eating crisps.
Straight down the throat, mate. Large. Just huge.
Someone in. You just come to the door for me, please. Is this caravan connected to this? Caravan connected to the pub? We're trying to find 2 individuals who are on the run. Our information suggests they're in this caravan. I'm trying to bottom that out.
But they're most definitely not in my caravan.
Could we come in to have a look?
But they're not in here, I can guarantee you that.
OK.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
50 miles away, Bob and Alex have hitched a lift to the edge of the New Forest.
If that decoy letter that Dad sent to Graham worked, if that's managed to throw the hunters out for a little while and given us some space to make some distance on them, I feel fantastic.
If it creates a little bit of distraction and a little bit of a laugh and a bit of fun, great. If it doesn't, don't matter. We're still on the go.
I promise you there's no one
That's cool.
standing caravan.
Honestly, that's cool.
Good luck finding your friends.
Thank you.
Thank you. It looks like our people certainly aren't here. I'm very confident they're not there, never have been. We're basically going to clear here fairly soon, then we're moving away.
Cheers, guys. Bye. Bye. I'm telling you now, and I'm bloody serious about this, we must not become a recruiting sergeant for the Freemasons because they get away. We have to show that we have the resources, the ability and the nous to outthink a largely secretive bloody organisation.
Morning. Can I have a word with you a minute, please, if that's OK? Would you be able to give us some work, either, say, some sweeping up, some cleaning, washing up, sweep your yard, mucking out, or anything like that, in return for a lift, preferably? And if we could push the boat out and have a banana or something, that would be fantastic. Would that be possible, Sarah?
Absolutely.
All right. Brilliant.
Bob and Alex seem to have a rocky start, made a few naive mistakes along the way, but they're starting to find their feet, I fear. I'm beginning to wonder whether we underestimated them guys or not. Are they just being lucky? Or are they actually very good? And we've got to up our game.
Alex, why are you doing this? Why are you on the run?
I'm on the autistic spectrum. That's affected my confidence and my self-belief. For me, I think this is an incredible opportunity to prove to myself that I am capable, I am worthwhile, and I do have purpose.
Is him talking to people? I can't believe it. He's actually talking to people.
I think this is a great process for me. I'm finding myself opening up a lot more to people. I think it's very reaffirming for me. I'm adapting myself to all new sorts of ways of how to think and plan. And hopefully this is going to do me some good in the long run. What do you want me to do now?
Do you reckon you could sweep?
Yeah, sure thing.
OK, right, Joe and Dan. Oh, the silence is deafening. Are we not going to catch these two? Come on. Let's cover, check, review and fill all the gaps. Let nothing slip through the floorboards today, please. Let's do it. Oh, God.
Is this them? Oh, they're dancing.
Yeah.
Oh.
It strikes me as cheesy, and that's putting it lightly.
Oh
that's cheese, isn't it?
That is pure cheese.
Morning has broken
like the first morning.
We sing at weddings, corporate events, during the night singing mainly swing. Party this day. And then in the early mornings, we are milkmen. Hey, mate, you go around this corner pretty. Look at you. Oh, you're like Jensen Button around here, mate. Growing up on a council estate, we had very little opportunities thrown in front of us. £100,000, it would take a lifetime for us to earn anything close to that. It has the potential to really change not only just my life and Joe's life, but the people around us, and especially our families.
I want that finish line moment, and I want to stand there and go.
Yeah, somehow.
If you could sort out a cup for us to lift or something like that, that'd be really good.
Is that it? That's it. That's the pub. Yes, 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 yes.
Whilst on the run, Dan and Joe plan to seek help from venues where they've performed in the past. First on their list is the Pheasant Inn, managed by friend Charlotte.
No, no, no. What are you doing here? Right. We are being hunted at present. I wondered whether or not you could help us.
Just somewhere to stay.
Ideally, if that's possible.
Yes, you can stay.
Amazing.
Somewhere.
When we hunt fugitives, at some stage, they reach out to associates.
With few leads on Joe and Dan, Chief Peter Blexley has a plan to gather intelligence.
It will be really useful to bring together significant players in the Joe and Dan network and see what they say when they're all together. What we will do is get them invited into Hunted HQ for interview. We will book them seats on a train. We'll get Agent P on the train beforehand and then see what they talk about.
I like it. I like that a lot.
We called him Agent P. He's worked in the shadows all his life for the security services and others. He has a wide range of skills in what many call the black arts.
I've got, 3, 4, 7 and 8. Yes, sorry. Thank you.
Joe and Dan's associates believe they're being brought in for questioning, but the reality is that it's a chance for Agent P to eavesdrop and gather vital intelligence.
Julie speaking.
Hi, Julie. They didn't even give me a second look. They said the boys have been dropped off in the Lake District. They move around, do jobs as they move, get paid for it. They're actually put on weight. They're getting half cut nearly every night. Oh, God. People are looking after them. The Lake District is definitely an area of interest.
It's fantastic because it means that we've now got, some onward lines of investigation. So we'll start looking into that right away.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
In Kendal, Joe and Dan are earning their keep.
Cheers, pal.
Have you enjoyed yourselves?
Yeah, it's been amazing. How have we done though? That's the kind of thing that
I think you've been exceptional, yeah.
we've been exceptional. Well done, Joe.
These guys are showmen. What if this was like a road, a road tour? They're returning to venues that know them, like them, that can put them up, feed them, and it's not a network that we've looked at.
I really like this theory. They're likeable guys. They're going to be helped.
This is the background we've got from Agent P regarding Dan and Joe. It's kind of really sort of dropped an area of interest for me in and around that Lake District area. So I started to look for pubs, hotels they had previous contact with. There was a pub called the Pheasant Inn. They've performed at that pub on a number of occasions, so hopefully this gives us a couple of next steps now.
Right, boys, what are you worth for this wonderful day's work?
Well, at least minimum wage.
I think to £50 each.
Cheers,
Thank you very much.
There is a pub called the Pheasant Inn that Joe and Dan have played at previously. Rich, we'd like you to go into the pub and try and strike up conversation with a lady called Charlotte. Now, Charlotte is a manager. You'll be posing as a friend of Joe and Dan who urgently needs to get the boys a burner phone, OK?
All right, sounds good.
Right, let's get you to the pub.
Have you met our getaway driver? It's the amazing Keith. Transport us to somewhere we haven't really thought about where yet. In a lovely blacked out Chrysler. And we're on the road.
Not too bad, not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all.
Take it easy, brother.
Excuse me, are you Charlotte? What's wrong? Joe and Dan?
Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Somebody called Joe and Dan are going to come quite this.
Yes, they said you knew about it first.
Oh, yeah, fine.
All right, thank you very much.
No worries.
Okay, thanks.
Julie speaking.
So I took a seat at the bar, spotted Charlotte straight away. She was extremely wary and suspicious of who I was. As well, as soon as I mentioned that I had something for her from Joe and Dan, she was definitely on the back foot and caught off guard.
The boys are not here now, but I'm almost certain they have been.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, well, we'll regroup.
All right, lovely.
Thanks, guys.
I want to throw the kitchen sink at Leslie. We're going to keep her under surveillance, deny her the access to him, deny him the access to her, and really crank it up.
Certain Jamie is on home ground in Dorset. Multiple ground teams are dispatched to the area.
Our objective is to get Leslie Clark and put her under covert surveillance. She drives a blue Renault Scenic.
Morning, bud. Are you in position?
Yeah, I've got eyes on the house. No sign of Leslie is here. I'll just keep a watching brief.
OK, bud. Wait to hear from you. Thanks a lot. Agent P and his ghost are on the plot. Let's see if we can follow her around today and see what she does.
Oh, I'm so grateful to see you.
Having found Jamie's note, family friend Sarah arrives at the meeting point.
Do you know how many miles I've walked? Must be close to 150 miles.
As her best friend and birthing partner, Sarah's in regular contact with Leslie.
The weekend wasn't good, being completely blunt. She was utterly convinced that she was being followed everywhere she went. She thinks that the house is bugged. She's feeling really guilty that all her thoughts have been cluttered by this whole I'm being followed and Jamie, and she's not thought about the baby. I think she has been dragged through.
Oh, I know. You know, from my perspective, I've not been able to speak to anybody this whole time. It's been terrible. And, you know, Les she's ultimately a pregnant, vulnerable woman at home. She's probably having a very hard time, and now she's having to entertain these idiots. I'm so angry at the hunters, I can't explain. Yeah, I'm desperate to see her. Desperate.
Do you want me to go for a walk with Les up to the fort, and then I'll just back off so that you can have time with Les, if you feel safe there?
I feel very safe. It's a great vantage point for me to look down there at the gate. The only thing we need to think about is whether you're being followed. I don't want to over and expose myself, that's all.
Yeah, okay.
We're really confident that Jamie is in the Dorset area right now, so we're keen to identify any close associates in that area that may be helping him out. One that pops up is Sarah Clark, is looking at historic phone records. Both Jamie and Leslie have called Sarah quite a lot, so she's a real person of interest.
She's key.
She's a close associate of Leslie.
Yeah, she's the one that's taken her to the hospital.
Was probably the birthing partner.
Yeah. We believe that Sarah Clark is a really, really good friend of Leslie. We understand from the forensic tests on the notebook that was recovered from the house that Sarah's the one that's going to assist her with the birth. So we think that Sarah is a very key person in her life.
As part of his plan to meet his wife, Jamie makes a final visit to Sarah's to secure an escape vehicle, the family camper van.
There's £1 pound of mince in there, and the pack of pasta, there's shed loads of tins, there's all sorts of gunk.
We'll get a move on.
Okay.
See you a little later on.
Mr. Chief.
I've seen Leslie. It looks like she could be moving mobile in a second.
That's it. That's a left, and that's off towards Wimborne.
Keep eyes on as best you can.
Will do. Thanks, mate.
Get to see my wife today. It's amazing. We are here at an old fort. We're going to rely on its height. We're going to rely on its view across the land and anyone approaching us, just as they would have done hundreds of years ago. Nice. I mean, that's perfect. Got this in the bag.
Still no change, still straight on the B073 towards Wimborne.
In Dorset, the covert surveillance team are following Jamie's wife, Leslie.
I'm just going to close up a little bit more, because they're getting away a little bit.
Can we give you an update on the vehicle tracker? The tracker is not responding.
She's doing crude anti-surveillance.
She's obviously up to something.
So what can we deduce from that?
I think this is a meet.
For fuck's sake, I can't believe that. I'm held by the lights.
So that's our running free now.
Right, now I'm going to get the raving up. That fucking red light. Where is she going?
I think we need to dig into as many associates back in this area as possible.
I genuinely believe they don't know that I'm here right now. I don't think they're expecting at all the fact she's going to meet her husband now in the woods.
So this is Sarah Clark address. So we're just looking how this ties in with all the movements of Leslie's vehicle. She could have been going to Sarah's address, and I think that's probably a good chance that she's gone there now. So we need to get onto our covert team.
I'm looking now to the right to see if I've got any people obviously on show, and they're not at the minute. There's a sheep that looks very suspicious.
Hi there, it's Steve.
We've got an address of interest where we think
that when you lost Leslie, this is where she's heading. So it's the address of Sarah Clark. So really keen to get there.
We're moving to that area.
That's them. Oh, that's my wife. God almighty, she's climbing a gate. My wife's amazing.
I think that's our person just there.
It's the chief.
Hello, Chief.
There's a scenic was on the bend there. I think that's our subject vehicle that's in this little village.
And it's parked up how far from Sarah Clark's address?
It's about 300-400 metres. Keep eyes on.
As best you can.
Yeah, will do.
Hello, stranger. Hello. You okay?
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, it's just so much. Oh, it's been hard.
Okay, so update. The covert unit have now locked back on to Leslie's vehicle. We strongly feel that Jamie is in that exact area. So what we're thinking of you guys, obviously approaching Sarah's address.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, how do you feel like exposure-wise? Do you think anyone's been following you today?
I don't know, because there was a tracker on my car which I'd left on all week, thinking I'd take it off when I needed to. So we've binned it on the way here.
Oh, you are fantastic.
Can you cover the front and back of this premises?
We can see through. I can see through to the rear. I can see into our lounge. As at the moment, there's no movement.
Let's tactically withdraw. Leave as found. Right, let's get on it. What have we got around where that car is?
He's there somewhere. I don't think he's far.
If he's there, we'll find him.
Do you know, for the first 10 days, it's just been the hardest thing in my life.
I bet.
I need you to know that I started off with this trying to find some reason to say I wanted to do it was because I was trying to connect with myself, and it's not. It's all for you. We're in this to win it now.
I can feel us closing in on him.
You know, you get that little buzz in your belly.
Yeah.
A little bit of butterflies. I'm starting to get that now with Jamie.
In the bag, it's been on.
Yeah, they're coming.
We've got cell site. That's Leslie Clark's phone, I believe. Where is that right now?
I've got to go, love you. Bye.
He's not in the property. The most likely place that you can actually get feasible eyes on is this block of woods.
That's a perfect place to go. It's high ground.
Agent P, I want you to redeploy to that high wooded knoll.
I'll try and get eyes on.
Fuck. We got a ping from Leslie's handset. We're absolutely positive he's in that area.
And if this intel turns out to be something good, like we are bang in there, yeah, this could be the capture day of Jamie.
I'm feeling trapped. All I need to do right now, mate, is get away.
See what I can see from up here.
Jesus Christ.
We're coming in to that location from the southwest.
It's 6 minutes away.
Received.
It's the chief.
I was in the wood at the top. I had a look around, there was nothing up there that I could see.
The trail is chilling by the minute, buddy.
Saw my wife. I'm over the moon. God, we're going to get lemonade and Coke. A little victory Coke. They've got a pretty good idea of where you are now. Only for 2 minutes.
We need to keep our eyes peeled. Keep an eye out for any movement.
Happy chappy. It's time to chill for a bit. Have some grub, have some drink, breathe in some fresh air.
Go straight on. Okay. Then, not the first,
Sorry,
but the second.
sorry.
Right.
He ain't in that fucking thing, is he?
That's him, that's him, that's him. What, that was Jamie!
Oh, fuck. Ian, I think that's him driving.
Come on. Girls are coming for you, bitch. He's got to stop for the cows. He's going.
He's legging it.
I've got to go, we've got to go. Move it, move it!
Bastards.
Fucking wanker.
See, there's another one.
Why has everyone got fucking Volvos around here?
It's got an APR hit, mate. About turn, that's it, that's it.
Hunted USA is a thing, similar gig from across the pond. Watch the box set for free on all 4. Next tonight, comical consternation, a devilishly dishy priest, and a star turn for Mother Mary herself. Smash it and deserves to be. Derry Girls on the way.